God morning, you guys. It's July 8th. God calling my secret. God even said, remember me. You got a little bit of a short one, so let's get right into it. God calling my secret. Ooh, God's getting a little personal. You are being guided, but remember that I said, I will guide thee with mine eye. And my eye is my set purpose, my will. So you're being guided. You're going down a path, but just know that your path is God's path for you. Right? You don't really have any other option unless you want to denounce God. If you denounce God, then you're going to be of this world and your path's going to be hard and rough and it's going to be terrible and you're not going to go to heaven and everything's going to suck and life is going to be hard. You don't want that, right? To guide with my will is to bring all your desires into oneness with my will, my desires. To make my will your only will. Then my will guides you. Guys, if you say, you know what, God, I respect you, I love you, but I'm going to do what I want to do, then that's being selfish. That's making yourself God. That's listening to only yourself and taking only your own feelings into account, right? But God is the divine creator. He created you, right? He deserves respect. He deserves your loyalty, and he deserves your faith that he is going to back you up and give you everything that you need and everything that you want, right? So God's saying that we need to slowly but surely align our wills for our life with God's will for us, right? And if you're trying to trick yourself, if you're trying to say, you know what, my will is God's will or else I wouldn't have my own will. No, that's not true, right? God can very humbly and easily show you why that's not true in your life. He can give you great examples. And if you choose to ignore them, then that's you not having that spiritual integrity, that spiritual maturity. But God's saying right here that God is guiding you with his eye. To guide with my will is to bring all your desires into oneness with my will, my desires. To make my will your only will. Then my will guides you. So you're only going to be guided by God. You're only going to really have God in every sense of the word in your corner, right? God is always going to love you. He's always going to be in your corner. He's always going to support you. But God is going to continuously push you towards that successful, beautiful path where your soul and your body can both have success if you align with him. But if you're not aligned with him, he's not going to be able to push you. He's just going to be pushing air. You're going to be over here walking, and God's going to be over here pushing air. He's going to be like, why is he not in front of me? Why am I pushing nothing, right? Because you're not going to align yourself with him. God even said, remember me, quote, give me a constant remembrance of thee, unquote. Ask what you will, and it shall be done unto you, but only if the heart desires what the lips express. The Lord looketh on the heart. So a lot of people ask, how does God know, right, if you're going to go to heaven or not? He judges you by your heart, right? Not by your actions, right? So someone could have had a lot of money and just been like, I want to go to heaven. You know, he could be like, you know what, I don't know what religion's right. I don't know if it's Christianity, Buddhism, but I'm just going to go and throw like $1 billion at each one. And then hopefully I get into the right one, right? So he'll go and he'll support, some poverty people. He'll help people in need. He'll do all these things, which are great things, right? But if your heart's not in the right place, then it's not going to matter anything. It's just going to be for your own personal gain. And it's going to be selfishness. It's going to be making yourself God, just how we talked about before, right? In God's secret. So that's what's saying here. Ask what your will be, it shall be done unto you, but only if the heart desires what the lips express. The Lord looketh on the heart. He judges you by your heart. He knows you. You can't hide anything from God. You will grow into the true attitude of remembrance of all your guidance, to my increasing care, to the mind of your master behind all, inspiring all, controlling all, the source of all your good. I want to grow into God so much. I want to carry out and enact God's plan for me so much. And this is something that I've been struggling with. The first part, my secret, right? I don't know if my will is exactly aligned with God's will, right? And I feel like I just need to continue growing and getting closer to him and growing my relationship with him, right? And just in the second part, how it talks about God knows your true heart. He knows my true heart. He knows that I truly want to only do right by him, right? So sometimes I get confused. If sometimes I do something that is not what he desires or what he wants, then he knows that I'm going to adjust and fix myself and change myself, right? So I have no worries about disappointing God, about letting him down, because I know I'm always going to come back to him and I'm always going to ask, God, what do you need of me? God, what do you want of me, right? And that's that mindset you got to have. You always got to be growing. You can't always have your cup full. And so that's something I'm struggling right now. Is my will that I want align with God's will, right? And if it is, then let's get the show on the road. If it isn't, then I want to change that for the better. And that's kind of what I'm struggling with right now. But I know that my heart's in the right place. I know that God just knows that. I know that he's going to support me. And I know I want him backing me. I don't want to go through this life alone. I don't want to go through this life without God. And I only want him in my corner. And so he knows my heart. He knows me. And I know I'm eventually going to get down that path, going down that road where God is holding my hand. And he's caressing my head. And he's like, baby girl, it's okay. It's all right. You're good. You're safe. And I can't wait for that day. And maybe it's right now. But again, I need to grow my spiritual integrity, my spiritual maturity. And that's why I'm doing this. That's why I talk to you guys every day. That's why I read my Bible. That's why I pray all the time. And I love you guys so much. That is July 8th. And with that, I will say amen.